Welcome to a review for Management 404, Exam 1. 2 quick disclaimers before we start. I'm no management expert, so you might want to study on your own as well. Just doing a quick review here. And also, some of these memes might be a little cringy, but hopefully they'll help us remember, so stick with me. Let's get into it. Alright, there are 3 units and about 40 terms, and we'll go fast because I don't have Vimeo Premium, so we only have 30 minutes. Alright, the first term is Total Quality Management, and this is a continuous improvement focused on customer satisfaction and quality in all areas. So, the term is pretty self-explanatory, Total Quality Management, and I like this quote. Total Quality Management is not a destination but a journey towards improvement, because this is just a continuous cycle of making quality better in your business. Okay, virtual teams. Virtual teams are teams working together remotely using technology. I thought this meme was funny. I don't always use my mic, but when I do, it's right when I'm about to say something. And if you've been a student in the last couple of years, you will know virtual teams using Zoom are not always the easiest, but they can be good if you get a good group. Okay, the Baldrige Award. This is This is an award for U.S. organizations excelling in quality and performance. And so, the most recent awards recipients I could find was from 2021, and there are several categories. The Midway USA company earned the Service Award, and then the School from San Diego and Mid-America Transplant earned the Nonprofit Award. And this is just basically given to a business or a company, I don't know what you would qualify a school, corporation, who excels in quality and performance. Okay, Six Sigma. This is a set of quality control tools that businesses can use to eliminate defects. So it's very important to eliminate as many defects as you can in your products, because that will improve quality assurance and profit. You don't want returns. You don't want your returning customers to get fed up with the defects. And I like this meme because one time Creed forgets to do the quality assurance, and he's trying to remember what he does in his job, and he's like, qualum. It's the funniest episode. I won't spoil it, but you should give it a watch at the office if you have time. Okay, corporate culture. This is shared values and behaviors within an organization. And I thought this meme was funny. Return to the office for the culture. The culture. Human capital. This is skills, knowledge, and ability of employees. And so this is actually said to be the most valuable and costly resource in a business, because human capital is very job specific and takes a lot of time to develop. As this meme shows, new hires on day 1. Can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all the things? Human capital is developed over time, so when you have high turnover rates, you're losing a lot of human capital, especially if you don't have knowledge-based information systems. Okay, personal knowledge. This is an individual's accumulated skills and insights, and I thought this was funny. Writes an amazing essay, and then synthesis means that your essay needs sources from outside, or like a culmination. So if this penguin just wrote it from knowledge, and then it's like, oh shoot, I have to use a bunch of outside sources. That's the worst when it happens. But personal knowledge is just your individual skills and insights. Informal learning. I just love this meme. There were so many funny ones to choose from. But informal learning is unstructured, spontaneous learning from experiences. So me at my aunt's wedding versus me watching the Mario Super Bros. Movie. He's very informal in the left, not to kill the meme by explaining it, but he's informal because it's unstructured. The joke is kind of that the aunt's wedding is the most structured, non-spontaneous thing you could have, but informal is unstructured and spontaneous, so it's going to be more casual learning and clothes. Alright, the ADDIE model. This is pink because this is in our vocab terms, and it is an instructional system design framework, basically to develop learning programs, which is a little meta. So it's a program to design other learning programs. So what you need to do is 5 steps. You analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. And if you go through those, you should be able to design a pretty effective learning program according to the ADDIE model. Okay, instructional design system. And so this is a process of creating educational programs. And you may be wondering, what's the difference between that and the ADDIE model? That sounds the same. Well, the ISD is the overall process of creating the programs, while the ADDIE model is a specific framework. So I kind of thought of it like the U.S. soccer coaching license pathway. So right here, this would be our ISD. So this is just a general process of them creating the programs. And then this is their actual pathway, which is a specific framework. As you can see, you get this and this and this and this. So it's very specific. Okay, an H-1B visa is, speaking of soccer, the U.S. work visa for specialized foreign professionals. And right away I just thought of like a professional soccer player coming to play in the U.S. And this is Zlatan playing for LA Galaxy. That was crazy news to hear. Okay, training design process. These are steps to create effective training programs. So compared to others, this focuses on workplace training. Training design process. Training and development success. So this is improvement of employee skills. So specifically, what you get from training design process, you should get training and development success. I love this meme. The party after finishing the combat encounter, where do we level up? So this is basically just leveling up your employee skills. Okay, ATC competency model. This is association, or ATD stands for Association for Talent Development. And so this model shows the skills you need to help employees do their jobs. So this is for the trainer training the trainees. I thought this meme was so funny too. Alright, already on to Unit 2. Learning organizations. This is companies that continuously learn and adapt. And so I asked ChatGPT for an example of a company for this, and they said a prime example is Amazon. And that gave me a good laugh. I don't even know if it meant to joke, but it's getting smarter. And I like this meme too. But basically, learning organizations is companies that adapt and are always, learning. And you might think, how would a company survive without doing this? Most companies do, but there are some rare exceptions where it's just they have it down and they don't really change a lot, and they have returning customers and it works. Balanced scorecard. This is also in our vocab terms. I believe there's only 2, and this is what an actual one looks like. I thought that was so cool. But this is a performance management tool that depicts an organization's overall performance. So what are its goals? That's why I thought this meme was funny, because balanced scorecard talks about priorities, and it's saying next time safety won't be low on priorities. Okay, metrics. This is a quantitative measurement used to assess performance. So quantitative meaning numerical rather than qualitative, like a quality someone has. And I love a quote that, pardon my language, there are lies, damn lies, and statistics, or metrics, because metrics are a little easy to manipulate, but this is what it is. Alright, strategic training and development. This is aligning employee development with company goals. So, kind of a win-win situation. Unless you have disgruntled employees, I guess. Strategic value of jobs. So this is the importance of a job to achieving business goals. So how much is that alignment important? A mission. This is an organization's purpose and goals. SWOT analysis. This stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So this dog is wrong. And so this is basically looking at a company and saying, okay, what is it good at? What is it bad at? What are some potential, profits, money makers? What are some things that could hurt the business? Staffing strategy. So this is a plan for recruiting and training employees, which is actually very important to have. Even though right now it seems like, there's more people applying for work than job availability, it's still important because you want to attract the right kind of employees and also retain them. major business strategies. So this is key approaches for company success. And I thought this was so cute. This is basically just having a strategy to how you're going to make business decisions. Centralized training. So this is training done by a central department. So it's where one department handles all employee training across the whole company. And I thought, I was thinking about this. I was like, would this actually always work? Because if you have, like, a common one is HR does all training. If they had to train, like, the accountants, would that work? But I'm guessing it's just general training, and then people already know their specialties or have a good background. Business embedded learning function. So this is training aligned closely with business needs. And I didn't actually mean to find this photo, but I just thought it was funny and a good example that this is actually pretty important, because if training isn't aligned with the business needs, it just feels like a waste of time, and all the employees will be not happy, because it's like, what are we even doing here? We could be doing our work or not here. So business embedding learning functions, it's very important that the training aligns with the business needs, which is its purpose. Change model. So this is a framework for guiding organizational change, and I thought this was some good wisdom. This seems probably the most difficult out of all of these strategies to implement. Okay, Unit 3, one more unit. Needs assessment. This is identifying gaps and not deficiencies, but like basically where the skills and training that one has are lacking. And this will of course take a lot of time, because you really need to get into a company and say, like, okay, why is this not working? What needs to happen in order for these gaps to be filled? Gap analysis. So this is basically, you might think, okay, this seems similar to the last one. This is more comparing the current result with the desired performance. So, well, this is saying, okay, and it's a little confusing because gap is in this definition, but in the other word, this is more identifying it, and then analysis is more like comparing, and as it is in the word, analyzing, rather than just looking at, okay, where is this lacking? I'd say this is probably more in depth. Organizational analysis. So this is evaluating company structure and goals. So I thought a good metaphor for these next three, because they can get a little blended. This is basically, if you were managing a soccer team, then you would say, okay, what's the overall goals for this team? That's an organizational analysis. Then organizational and personal analysis. This is assessing company and individual training needs. So it would be like, what is this player's needs on the field, like in the context of the organization? And then a person analysis would be identifying individual training needs. So rather than how is this going to look at practice and on the field, this might be like in the weight room or more individualized. Root cause analysis. So this is identifying the underlying cause of problems. And so I thought of a root canal because when you get a root canal, it actually, what am I talking about? I never got one, and I don't know much about it, but I do know that it's at the bottom of the tooth, and I think they have to go in and remove it. I'll have to ask my friend who's a dentist or is becoming one. But you really gotta get to the bottom of it, at least in business, and find the root problem. Okay, methods used in needs assessments. So this is basically saying, how do we conduct a needs assessment? Okay, we can do surveys, interviews, we can observe. This list is not extensive. This just is one of my favorite interviews. It's only like 5 seconds, but it's funny. The process for personal analysis. So this is steps to determine individual training needs. And so going back to our soccer example, you might say, okay, it seems like I need to be, have more longevity to my cardio. How are we going to assess that? And so this was the beep test, which was something else. This British guy would always read it. The fitness gram pacer test is a multi-capacity. I could still hear the voice, but this would be like an example in soccer for the process of personal analysis, and then in business, I'm sure they have similar things. Task analysis, so breaking down tasks to identify training needs. I thought this was pretty simple in the definition, but this is still a cool meme. Okay, competency models. These are frameworks outlining required skills and behaviors. So basically expectations for employee behavior. And I remember taking these in middle school. It was a huge trend, and I think mine looked more like the latter. All right, last term, we have a rapid needs assessment. This is a quick identification of training gaps. So this is exactly like the first couple that we were talking about, like a needs assessment or a gap analysis, but this is just rapid, very fast. Probably more cost efficient too. All right, best of luck on the test. I hope this was helpful. See y'all later.